Kedu ụzọ nwana Nnamdi Kanu si na-eme na-emeju ya? Unu kọrọ m ka m ghọta. Na m sị mụ na arụghị ogbe nke abụọ gafere River Niger. Unu ga-arụ okporo ụzọ. Unu ga-emezi ebe niile. Ebe ụmụaka na-agụ akwụkwọ ọ ga-emezi emezi ọma mma. Ụlọ ọgwụ a ga-arụzi ya arụzi. A ga-enwe ọkụ, mmiri ga na-agba. Ọ ga-adịrị onye ihu na mma, dịrị onye azụ na mma. Kedu ụzọ m si mejọ ndị dị etu a? Asị m na ụzọ m si na-eme ya na ọ dịghị mma. Njọ ha sị mbụ ngwa agha. Onye m gbara egbe. Onye m gburu mma. Onye m gbara ụta. Akwa sọsọ ozi ọma Chineke si mgbasa n'igwe okwu ka m na-agbasa. Kezie ka o si metụta unu. Ọ bụ gịnị mere unu a na-asị ka akpọta Nnamdi Kanu ka egbuo ya ọha na eze na ndị gọvanọ? Ọkwa na gịnị mere ndị herdsmen na-egbusi ndị mmadụ n'ugwu Awụsa? Ndị gọvanọ ha n'ugwu Awụsa kpọbeghị ka abịa gbusie ha. Inu anunugo na onwe onye na-achị ugwu Awụsa gọvanọ pụtara sị ka egbusie ndị herdsmen. Unu anunugo na onwe onye Yoruba pụtara sị ka egbusie ndị OPC. Ọgwụ na sọsọ ndị Igbo. N'ihi na unu na-agba leka kunu ga-agbara ndị Fulani odibo. Onye pụta sị ka agbara Fulani odibo. Onye nsị na mụ abụọ Nnamdi Kanu aga m agbara Fulani odibo. Ha nwere ha kwesịrị gbara mụ odibo.
Today is Thursday, the 12th day of June 2025, a day before Nnamdi Kanu's court trial, which will be tomorrow, the 13th day of June 2025. Tomorrow's court case promises to be a bumper package. So wherever you are around the world, make sure that you remain locked down, because tomorrow we are going to do justice to what happens in the court. Make sure you have subscribed. If you have not, please do that now. Also, turn on notification bell to get updated whenever I drop the video or any other video. Also, take your time to like this channel. The plight of the Igbo in Nigeria, which led Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into this fight, and of course the fight that you all know have led him to the dungeon several times, but presently he is still in one. And of course, the same fight that has even made him, to employ the services of lobbyists from America, United States of America. Yes, lobbyists whose responsibility was of many things to draw attention to the plight of the Igbos in Nigeria, the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, and of course in Igbo land, and also on the Biafra cause of referendum, and of course to seek for the release, the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in the dungeon for a long time. These and more issues beguiling the Igbo race were the mandates of these lobbyist firms. A lot of money has been spent on this Biafra cause. And I'm not talking about Naira. I'm talking about millions in dollars has been spent employing lobbyist firms to work for this Biafra cause. And that leaves us to the big question. What has been the achievement of these firms? The Igbos are still where they are. There is nobody fighting for the injustice going on internationally. These firms were actually paid to lobby to the ICC for some damages that happened in this country, in the Igbo land. Of course, in the Python dance. These lobbyist firms were paid to press for a human treatment of Nnamdi Kanu and a release. They were paid to put pressure on the American government to recognize the plight of the Igbos and of course to seek better treatment leading to the referendum of the Igbo race. Still, Igbos are still in that same position and Nnamdi Kanu is still in the dungeon. So tell me, what was the money actually paid for? Who is going to hold these lobbyists accountable? And in fact, who are these American lobbyists? For this video, we are going to be looking at the American lobbyists that were paid for the Igbo cause, that were paid to seek for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release, that were paid to project the treatment and the persecutions going on in the Igbo land, and lots of things that's happened, of course, doing the Python dance, and seeking ICC prosecution for a lot of individuals that played a huge role in the brutal treatment of the Igbos in Nigeria. What have these firms done so far with the money given to them? And was the money worth spending? And have the Igbos gotten anything in return so far? Let's go. So who are these firms? Number one, Mercury Public Affairs, USA. They were engaged on September 2019. Their contract was $85,000 per month, $5,000 compliance fee. Their mandate was strategic consulting, media relations, and lobbying to gain US attention for human rights issues in southeastern Nigeria. So what was the outcome? Precipitated 2 US senators sending a letter to President Trump highlighting extrajudicial killing of Christians in Nigeria. They raised IPOB's profile in Washington, D.C. and among conservative media outlets too. But since then, they have faced lots of challenges. One is no official US policy shifts or formal recognition of Biafra, diminishing returns with diminishing compliance transparency, and Nigerian government also accused and criticized the campaign. So the final verdict on this Mercury company is this: they made little progress, media and congressional attention, very little, but no policy change. Total contract was worth $1.02 million for this firm to do this job. That is a lot of money. That is the kind of money that even politicians in America don't even have. And that kind of money was enough for them to do a lot of work. At least, if possible, visit Nigeria, visit Igbo land. But I bet you, none of those firms, this firm did not come to Nigeria. This firm did not visit Igbo land to come and see for themselves firsthand what the scope of their job was going to be. Because it's funny enough that most of these companies just take money from Africans looking for one thing or the other and start looking for pictures here and there and videos and do a little work, show walking, and find people to write 1 or 2 letters, and that's all. But these white countries don't value Africans. They are all working together. If not, tell me why. Somebody engaged you, a group looking for freedom, engaged you and paid you. Agreed with you. Not because of the money alone, because of the plight. Sometimes I watch social media and I see people like Bill Gates and all these people talking about how they pity for Africans and how they send money every day to Africa for this charity or that charity. And I laugh because it's all a lie. Most of this charity you are seeing they have is a way of laundering money for themselves. They don't pity for Africans at all. Okay, you could not even help draw attention. How many times have American politicians spoken about him? Or even spoken to the point of releasing him from the prison he's in for 4 years now? I don't want to really go deep. For that one, that money, $1 million for Mercury and Co. was a total waste. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section for this number one. Let's go on to number two. Number two lobbyist company is BW Global Group, BWGG LLC, America. They were engaged on March 2021. Total contract fee that was agreed is $750,000. And they asked to be paid $100,000 upfront before they start. Then subsequently $65,000 per month. What is their mandate that was given to them? To engage US, to engage the American Congress and State Departments to promote human rights, democracy, and to petition the ICC. So what was the outcome of this? There was a confirmed communication with State Department and US Congress regarding Kanu's arrests. Good. So there was a communication, listen again, there was a confirmed communication with State Department and US Congress regarding Kanu's arrests. So that means US Congress and State Department, FBI, CIA, they are aware of Nnamdi Kanu's arrest through the appropriate high-level channel of communication, which is a good one. Let's go on. So they filed a petition to ICC alleging genocide against IPOB under Buhari. So this BW Global Group actually took it a step forward. Let's go on. Nigeria also criticized this firm, accusing it of discrediting the country. Though impactful publicly, these actions did not translate to official US sanctions or formal interventions. So the final verdict here, well, is there progress? Better than the first one, than Mercury, in advocacy and legal action, but still no concrete US policy change or recognition. Okay, for this number 2 BW, very obvious that BW Global Group are a group that actually, did something, and they actually did not just eat money like that. They made concrete effort to get the American government to be aware of what Nnamdi Kanu is passing through, of which now they know. They also have filed a petition to the ICC to look into the genocide that happened in Afaruku and other parts of Igbo land on that fateful Python Dance Day and other days. So for this particular group, I will say, well done, they tried. But the first one, Mercury, as you see, did not. They just ate money and disappeared. They ate that money. So my findings was that actually the actual amount they received from the 1.02 million, which is the Mercury, was about 254,000. So that means they were being paid. They didn't collect, and that Mercury did not collect upfront. So they were being paid monthly. I think they were being paid until the payment they received was about 200 and something. That was about maybe 3 months or 4 months payment. But maybe it was because, they had not shown enough working. That was why the contract payment stopped. I think this group is a more serious group so far. There has been no result, but there has been signs to show that they actually mean their job. They asked for 100,000 upfront payments. Personally, I think it was worth it. And I think this group should be maintained. BW Global Group should be maintained. Should be maintained and contacted to keep on. But the problem is that they have not still gotten the attention of the American government to weigh in on the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is very critical. Because filing paper and paper and paper does not actually change anybody's cause. What we want is solutions. Let's go on to number 3. Number 3, Moran Global Strategies was employed on June 2024, on an undisclosed fee. But actually, there's a twist in this one. This one was actually employed by Simon Ekpa, this particular group. The other 2 groups that were employed by IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. But this group, Moran Global, was employed by Simon Ekpa under BRGIE, Biafra Government in Exile. So let's go on. But still, it is still under the scope of the Igbo cause. So that is why it's also part of this. The mandate given to them was a public-facing advocacy, drawing the general attention to the Igbo cause and the Igbo plight, and of course normal lobbying for the world to know that there is a nation called Biafra that also needs to be emancipated and that also needs to be free, and for the general advocacy for the Igbo race. So the key personnel involved is Robert Moran, who is the founder, legal regulatory oversight, and of course another man named Elias Gerasolis, who is a lobbyist, spokesperson. So what is the outcome? They built a public narrative promoting BRGIE, claims of US dialogue. No, there were actually claims that there were dialogue with the US government, but there is no confirmation on that, and they are yet to file, formal legal policy requests for to the US government or international bodies. So what were the challenges and limitations? They relied too heavily on public engagement and social media, which may not sway policymakers, and that there was no formal record of meetings with US policymakers. You see that this particular one that Simon Ekpa brought up did not actually do anything at all. The group was just kind of like, in fact, there is no even fee attached. The whole thing was shrouded in secrecy. The whole process and the financial pact between them was not even disclosed because there is no official fee to see how much they were paid. So, and of course, as you can see also, the job scope they were doing, they just use social media and dwelled on social media. They never actually made any concrete moves for anything. So were they actually paid? Were they actually contracted? Could these third people, Moran, whatever they are, was just for the optics? We don't know. But it was on record. And of course, the pictures are out there in social media showing lots of handshakes and photo ops with the particular man himself, the Elias man, on the picture. It's all there to see. And of course, people were led to believe that that was also a lobbyist firm fighting for a cause. These lobbyist firms are out for survival. They are out to make money. First of all, just like any other company, you will be lucky if anyone actually does the job set out to do. Mostly when you are an African man looking for something. They are all the same, eating money and doing nothing. I bet you, if it was an American that paid all this money to these lobbyist firms on a particular cause and did not deliver, they would have been sued by now to refund the money. Why does it pain me so much? It pains me because at least, if not for anything, by now, we are supposed to see an official statement for inhuman treatment on the plight of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Didn't you see what happened to South Africa? Didn't you see how Donald Trump was speaking about South Africa the other day on white genocide and how the whites are endangered in the country vocally? Do you know what it means? The kind of international pressure that kind of word can put any country, that it took South African president to request a meeting with him and flew down to America to explain himself that, Oga, there is no white genocide in South Africa. You can come and see for yourself. And because Americans' voice is very strong. Do you think Donald Trump on his own was speaking by himself? There were a lot of lobbying going on. Deep lobbying going on before he got to his desk. And he said, this topic has come to my ear 5-10 times. I think it's time for me to talk about it. $1 million, $700,000, that's enough for you to get even if it's Speaker of House of Assembly in America, or the Senate President of House of America, or a governor to speak for your cause. Yes. So please tell me in the comment section if all this money that was spent so far is worth it, looking at what we still face, looking at Nnamdi Kanu situation, looking at the Igbo plight. Was this money worth it? Are these lobbies still worth it? Why do we need 2 or 3 lobbyists? This second one called BW Global Group, they're the only ones here who even tried to file a letter here, a letter there. You know, and but there's been no concrete statement on this. So we need to keep pressing for his release. We need to keep pressing for the international community to come in, you know, and put pressure for people to respect the choices of a people in a country. Nnamdi Kanu has never come out one day to say he wants to fight anybody. Never one day. If this lobbyist group had done their job, will we be here today? Where is the money that was paid to them? Who's accounting for the money they have paid to them? They ate the money and gave us nothing. Gave Nnamdi Kanu nothing. Nothing. Even now, he's in detention. There is no statement from this lobbyist group. No statement from them, no intention to even fight to bring him out. Nothing. Nnamdi Kanu's court trial resumes tomorrow on Friday the 13th. Please buckle up your shoes. It's going to be a bumper package. And I assure you, victory is on the way. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you turn on your notification bell. I have been your host, Nnamdi. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.